All right, Gov, starting off in the second of the afternoon with two first-timers. Nice to see Francie Herald back in the irons on Golden Gate Bridge and Night Air with Raymond Danielson.
Yeah, nice colts, Andy, but probably both looking for a little bit further. More run just to sort of get them going, get them started off. Of the two tomorrow, I would say Golden Gate Bridge the stronger, so back-ender quartets.
Okay, obviously there's been a little bit of rain about, but I guess all the hard work has been done and will have little or no effect on the performance.
Yeah, no, they're fit and ready. You know, the rain came last night, but pretty much we were up to speed, by then. Remains to be seen whether we get more rain, what the track would be like, but I don't think it'll be too soft, and let's hope for a good day.
Starting off in the first race with a horse called Desert Rhythm.
Desert Rhythm ran a week ago, and it was a fair run. I think there are a few hard knockers in the race. I think Mark de Kock's got a strong coupling. Mark's fillies run to Aurelia Katu I rate quite highly. And, we're giving that 3 kilos, even though it is a maiden. Aurelia Katu came to win again against the Colts. So, yeah, I think she would maybe be the one to beat, but hopefully we can give her something to think about.
Number 3, Only to Win, and number 4, RUMBAWAB.
Yeah, Only to Win, she's actually come along nicely since she's arrived up here from Durban. There's actually not much between the two of them on their work at this point in time. I think maybe RUMBAWAB might just be suited to the inside track over that type of trip, as she was just caught late the last time. But look, both of them, I wouldn't be surprised if they both finish in the first 3.
So nice double floating bankers for trifectas and quartets.
Yeah, I think both of them should be pretty competitive there on their work.
Mike, the first leg of the pick 6 starts off with Houston Rocket, the mount of Pierre Stratum, quite a competitive lineup.
Yes, Andrew. In that race, there's probably 4 horses I think that'll fight the finish out. Houston Rocket, Pierre rode him last time. He's opted to stay with him. We have improved, but I think those top 3 are a little bit stronger than him. And if I happen to beat them, I'd be over the moon.
First leg of the pick 6, you've got King's King with an undeniable chance in quite a competitive little lineup.
Look, it is. I think it's quite a bit stronger than the race he ran in last time. So, he was a good second, but, we mustn't fool ourselves. This is stronger. He'll have a chance there for sure, but will probably need to improve on his last run.
Lovely. Then you go to the first leg of the pick 6, Advance to Go.
Advance to Go is making progress. I think it's quite a competitive field against the boys, and we'd be happy with the place.
Fantastic. Then you've got a high-quality individual in the first leg of the pick 6, number 1, Alhamd.
Yeah. Alhamd, obviously, last time, just things just didn't go his way. I think probably stepping up to the 1800 meters on Saturday could possibly suit him, From a good draw, Callan knows him quite well, so let's probably be positive and say he could possibly be one of the best, better ones on the day for us.
Okie dokie, then on to the 5th race where you've got number 4, Mission Control with champion Gavin aboard.
Yeah, 1,000 metres inside track. I'm hoping that's what he's been looking for. Over the 1,200 last time, he just emptied out that last 100 and he was running a clear place and it was too far for him. So, yeah, I think he's just a 5-furlong horse. Gav will know him better this time, and I think he's a runner there.
First leg of the jackpot, Royal Variety.
Royal Variety won very well, albeit in a work rider's maiden. I think he may have improved a little bit and seems to enjoy this inside course. It's a very open race and we'd be happy with the place, but I'd imagine he's got a small winning chance.
Then a busy race for you, race 6, with all of the talented AUSSIE AUSTIN, number 3, number 8, Bonnie Prince, who comes back from a gelding, and number 1, Life is Good, with Pierre Stratum aboard AUSSIE AUSTIN.
Yes, Andrew, again, a very competitive field. I won't speak about the other horses, but I'll speak about my 3. Of my 3, I probably lean toward AUSSIE AUSTIN being the better of the 3. Pierre's back on his back again. He said that we should put him over the 1400. We have now opted to put him over the 1400, which I've always maintained would be the right distance for him. We took him down to KZN last year with his mission being the July Day race. He tore abdominal muscles down there and his whole mission went awry. and we just had to put him in the paddocks and let him strengthen up and leave him alone, and we've brought him back slowly. We're hoping that he's going to be right for this. We've got him cherry ripe and fit now, and with PR board, we've got everything in his favour. So I think he's a big runner. Bonnie Prince put up a phenomenal gallop the other morning. We had the heart rate monitor on him. His recovery was good, so I think he's in a good shape and fit. And obviously Life is Good has shown good potential. He won a good handicap the other day, but his 2 runs subsequent to that were poor runs, but he had the virus, this virus that's floating around and knocking all the stables around you with temperatures and things. You don't realise it until you take bloods on them, and then you see these things that happen, and then a couple of days later the legs swell up. So those 2 poor runs you can attribute to the virus. So we're hoping that he runs a fair run for us here, but Robin's opted to move him on to Zim after this, and I don't blame Robin because he wants to run him in the last 2 legs of the Triple Crown because it's pretty weak up there, and I think it's a good move on Robin's part because he wants to get blacked out for the mare.
Ribovar, very difficult horse to place, rated 90 as a one-time winner. Semanga wasn't convinced when we went around the turn. He's a tricky horse. He gives away a lot of start, and yeah, you just it is the right race from a merit rating point of view, but it's the right race otherwise. He's in good enough order, and if he enjoys the turn, he's a big runner.
Then on to the 7th of the afternoon, where you've got Gavin again aboard DANZA.
It looked like she didn't run such a great race in the $500,000 1200, but on the day where we had a 19 draw, we thought it was a wonderful draw at, Kenilworth 12. They all decided to go to the inside, so we were left high and dry. None of the horses on the outside did anything the whole day, actually. So it was a much better run, and Gavin felt that she would have been in the money had she been drawn sort of, in the first 6, say, down the inside. But decent filly. I think she's probably going to get a mile in time. She's a full sister to the Captain's Tune, and it was a good miler. And we're sort of just stepping her up. If she needs to run well here, if she's to be competitive in graded races over a mile, and I think she will go well. She's fit and she looks very bright.
I think this might be a really good course and distance for her. It's a very competitive field. I think Alec Laird once again has got a horse that won first time out that could be anything, and Geoff Woodruff may be a nice horse in the race. DANZA, I think it may be.
Yeah.
But I think she'll enjoy the course and distance, and she'll have an each way chance.
Race 8, we've got number 4, SHATOOSH with Carl Zechner, and certainly looks like the filly that they're all going to have to beat.
Yes, Andrew, I think she might very well be the filly that they have to beat, albeit that she picked up a £3 penalty for her second last time. I'm never happy when they pick up penalties for running places, but she has improved. We're running against that filly of Erica Verdeniz again. She picked up a £6 penalty. We picked up the £3 penalty. I think we might have her number now because we were coming off a long rest. But there's also Geoff Woodruff's in the race that come down from Candice Bass Robinson. She's dropped £8, which makes me want to have to respect her because she was placed in her last 2 starts and she's dropped £8 for that. So, and moving to Geoff Woodruff, who's no fool. I have a healthy respect for Geoff as a trainer, and it puts that filly into the race with an undeniable chance.
INANNA, who of course is a full sister to INARA.
Yeah, look, she's a beautiful looking filly, and she had a bleeding problem down in the Cape. So Kevin Somerville spoke to me and said, they seem to bleed less in Joburg, and I must say that is the case, and we haven't had problems, touch wood, with any bleeding. But I don't want to say Napoleon's brother, but you never mind full sister to who. She's herself, and her form is not that great from the Cape, but she does show better than that. So I would think she'd be competitive in this race without being any kind of a good thing.
Fantastic. And then on to the 8th, horse number 7 is Oh My Darling.
Yeah, she'll obviously strip a much fitter filly on Saturday. She's definitely come on from her last win, and I think it's just given her a lot of confidence. Her work's been very good at the moment, so look, I really feel that in that field she might just be hard to oppose. I think she'll definitely be very competitive on Saturday.
Well, it's nice that Michael and Matthee have gone away to buy new horses and left you with some decent runners.
Yeah, it is very nice, puts me under a bit of pressure, but it's nice of them, as I do appreciate the chances, and it's just nice for all the horses if they do arrive and things go well.
Fantastic. And then you triple-fisted in the ninth with all of Miss Turbo, Francie Herald, number 11, Miss Wales, Colin Story, and number 4, Russian Star with Chase Marjan.
Yeah, well, start from the beginning. Miss Turbo, she had a bit of a nasty virus. There's been one, I actually think countrywide, but we've noticed a few horses that we've actually quite fancied them. They've run shockers, and their blood counts just go for, an absolute walk. So, and they take a while to come back. She was one of them, and I think she was one of the first that actually manifest this, and it was some time ago. I think it was in December or January. So it's been around a while, but very non-selective, and it seems to have attacked the fillies worse than the colts for whatever reason that is. I don't know. But anyway, long story short, she's over it. She's fit again, and she's been working nicely. Back to her best form. She likes this track, and she's run very well there. She's she won her only race there by far. So I'd like to think she could return to form. Will she need the run? I don't think so, not too much. And then Miss Wales, I thought a little bit unlucky last time. I mean, she got beaten, a half a length to run fourth. Got into the race a bit late, and that was when the race was shortened from a 15 around the turn on the Val Classic track to a 14.75. Had it been 15, I think she gets up. But anyway, that's tough tackies. Mile inside track, well, she won very well when she did break her maiden. Good post-maiden run. Bit of a poor draw, but a low weight here. And Colin knows her from track, so I'm not sure if he's ridden her in a race before, but he certainly knows her. And she'll just be playing a waiting game and hopefully pouncing late. Russian Star, very similar, won a good race, I thought, last time. Obviously gone up a bit in the weights, but doing well, stayed well, and likes this track and trip as well. So, they're all there to do their best. If you had to single out, I'd say the best one would probably still be Russian Star.
So you wouldn't be entirely surprised if you triple floated those 3 horses with the field and landed up with a quartet.
You can get lucky for your mouth, the gods, yes.